So I picked up this Honda Shadow. I guess I paid for it last year. The story behind this is it's actually a 2009 Honda Shadow 750 Aero version. And I bought it from my in-laws. So my father-in-law has a Suzuki Intruder, pretty cool bike. He was enjoying riding it around a few years ago, and so he decided he wanted to try and buy a bike for his wife, my mother-in-law, and that way they could go on rides together. He found this one local to him at the time and picked it up. And it's kind of one of those scenarios where she rode it like once or twice and then never rode it again. Didn't really have much interest to ride it. He had it around for a while, hung on to it for a little while, and then ended up calling me and asking and saying, hey, I'm thinking about selling it. Do you want it? And at first I said no, which is kind of funny. Wasn't huge into road bikes. I mean, I like bikes, I like motors, I like everything. I like dirt bikes, I like all of it. But I was like, yeah, you know, at the time I wasn't interested. And didn't really say much after that. A couple months later, he broached it again and said, hey, I'm thinking about selling it. You want it? And I remember I talked to my brother and he said, well, how much does he want for it? And I said, I don't know. I didn't even ask him. And so he's like, well, ask him. So I asked him, I was like, well, what would you want for it? And he was like, you know, family discount. And gave me a deal that I was like, well, oh my gosh, I guess I can't say no to it. So I bought it off him. And it's just kind of been sitting around my house for a little while. Haven't really done much with it. Rode it once or twice. Haven't really done much to it. Been kind of busy with other projects and other things. But it's in really, really good shape. It only had, when I bought it, it only had 4,400 miles on it. Original miles, 2009. As far as I know, I believe the bags on the back, the hard side bags, are aftermarket. I don't know if the exhaust is factory or not. I think it is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that, but I mean, other than that, oh, and it had crash bars on it and some of those, like pedestal, you know, pedestal pegs or whatever on it. I took those off and just put the factory pegs back on. But other than that, didn't really do anything to it. I mean, the thing's a great bike. It fires up and runs amazing. It's kind of the beauty of these Japanese cruisers. They are really dependable, durable bikes. It's a shaft drive Shadow. Most of these Aeros were, like, you can see low miles on the thing. Seems to run really good. But I don't know. Like I said, I've never really been a huge bike guy, but I will admit my brother's been getting more into road bikes, stuff like that, and I've been doing a little bit more research on them. It is fun. I do enjoy riding. I don't think I would ever be somebody that commutes on this thing on a regular. I just think it would be fun to ride around on a nice day in the summer, nice evening, or, you know, go for an hour-long ride and come home, and that's pretty much it. Go get a burger, something like that. That's all I could really envision. But my brother turned me on to guys that have been taking these and doing and bobbing them. And so that is what I've decided I want to do. I want to turn this into something that I think is even more cool. And so that way I can get even more excited about wanting to ride it a little bit more often. So that's what I've decided to do. I'm going to do a bobber kit on this thing. So this first part of this video is kind of an intro to it, and that way it's going to be one of these. This is what it looked like before, and then this is what it's going to look like, you know, after. So here is the before on this, and Now we will go to the after. Voila. Here is the after. So, I'm not going to call this a build because with the other things I've actually built, this is more, I didn't build it, I just bolted stuff on it. So this is more of a transformation, I guess, into a bobber. So this is a whole slew of blue collar bobbers parts on this thing now. Rear bobber fender, seat kit. This is their 13-inch super cushion seat. The seat is phenomenal. It is very, very nice. I must say, I feel like blue collar bobbers is, the whole setup is very well thought out, very simple to put together. You just kind of pick what you want for your bike and mix and match parts and bolt them on. They do a really good job. It's also their front fender kit. I put their drag bars on and their drag mirrors and some new grips on it. As you can see, I painted it blue. If you have looked at any of my other videos, this is the same exact paint that I painted my square body crew cab, my tow rig. I just love the color. I think it's great. I think it turns out awesome on this. So one thing I noticed when I was doing some research on bobbers is most everybody keeps a clean rear fender and they put the light, you know, some down here on the swing arm on the side. I just personally didn't like that. I personally like the light on the end of the fender. So Blue Collar Bobbers does offer this with a license plate and a light on the back fender. It was funny when I ordered it, he was like, "Are you sure you want this? I don't really sell many of these in the United States." And I was like, "Yep, I do want it. That's the look I want. That's what I'm going for. I prefer it. It's what I want." It was a little bit more difficult to put on. He has a cool kind of spine bracket that bolts up underneath the fender that holds the wiring, you know, up around the fender so the tire doesn't rub on it. And then it exits the fender and then you know, go up into the up underneath the seat for do your wiring. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. I painted that little cover down there black as well. I was trying to just get rid of a little bit of chrome on this. Now I feel like it's got a really good balance of chrome, black, and blue. Also painted the air filter cover, as you can see. And then the big thing is I did get different exhaust. This staggered exhaust, it was an eBay kit. The pipes themselves were very good. I think they're very good quality. The bracketry that holds them on, a lot to be desired, which I've gotten used to with eBay stuff. So I did modify them a little bit, make them work a little bit better so that they bolted up more even and everything looked good with that. And then as you can see, I wrapped them as well. I would fire it up so you could hear it, but I do need a new battery. This battery just will not hold a charge. But I can sub in a video right here of me starting it so you can kind of hear it, so you can hear it fire up and hear it rev a little bit. So here you go. And then, yeah, so I mean, just getting a battery in this thing that'll actually freaking hold a charge. And then other than that, it feels way comfortable with the drag bars. The seat is crazy comfortable. I feel like I shed quite a bit of weight on it. it's a little bit easier to kind of throw around, which is awesome. It feels like it, you know, when you shed a bunch of weight and keep the power the same, it actually feels like it goes a little bit better. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. Oh, I got their front. I got blue color bobbers. I got their front light kit. Lights are very, very nice. Good bracketry. Everything. So now I'm way excited about this thing now. I think it looks awesome. Excited to get out there and ride it and just enjoy it. So there you go.